tackle as the Spartans put it together. Again, I mentioned a surprise 86-yard kickoff return that started the ball game. Thomas just electrified this crowd when he took it, went 86 yards, and the Spartans jumped out early, 7-0. That pretty much set the stage of the ball game. Minute 33 remaining. It will be Dan Williams to kick it off. Hunter right. And we got another penalty flag, and this ball game has really falling apart. Remind you again, John Lynn, the head coach of the Beaverton Beavers, is down below. And he will get a chance, hopefully, to talk with Gary Beck, the head coach of the Corvallis Spartans. And you see the time, 1:32 remaining. That's all that remains in this one. Rained the entire first half. The second half free of rain. The field really in excellent condition.
Dead ball foul. Snap infraction on the center. Offense. Still first down.
And they'll tack another 5 yards on, but it's academic right here. I think they need 38 yards already to get the first down. Williams will stand at about his 25-yard line. And Fanger and Herdstrom. There's a punt. It's going to be Fanger. Lets it go over his head and takes a roll. It goes inside the 15, inside the 10. And the brakes are all going to Corvallis now. They might have lost the yardage on the penalties, but they got it back on the punt. Oh, my. Dan Williams rubs a little more salt into the wounds of the Pacers with a punt of 53 yards and gets it down inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. With a minute 19 remaining. 24-7. Corvallis lost 2 ball games early. And many wondered, are they the Spartan team of the past? Have they got themselves in a down year? They lost to South Salem early on. They lost to Lebanon. Listen to the Corvallis fans. But then they came back. They got it together. They had 2 tough ball games. Against Sprague, they won 12-6. That was in a heavy fog. They beat Corvallis. Klamath Falls beat Corvallis 12-0 in the playoffs. But other than those 2, they have rolled in the playoffs. There's a little swing pass out. Try to turn the corner and running out of bounds near a first down is Jim Shell. He'll have the first down and stops the clock with under a minute, 55 seconds to play. Saturday afternoon, when basketball has already started too. Think back 2 or 3 years ago, Corvallis Spartans played a championship football game on a Saturday afternoon and had just enough time to clear the field and get a couple of guys in the basketball uniforms, and they played basketball that night. Back to throw, left-hander turns it up and gets good yardage. Eric Wilhelm finds a little running room this time, but it's going to be too late. Wilhelm, 6'2", 190-pound senior, left-hander, 45 seconds, clock moving. Spartans celebrating with the high fives, and they have earned it. And I mentioned Gary Beck's 5-year coaching record at Corvallis, 52-10. This will make it 53-10, including a 14-3 mark and now a 15-3 mark in the playoffs. Will running left, throws, and good catch. Nice reception by Sean Simmons. Had to come back for the ball and just picked that one up off the turf. Out at his own 43.5-yard line. First down, and now timeout will be called again by the Pacers. And Wilhelm will go over to Tom Smythe, and right now, I'm sure they're just trying to get the ball down and pick up another score. Soften the blow a little bit. 24-14, I'm sure they're thinking it will be much finer than 24-7. But they've got 24 seconds remaining. Remember, the Pacers came in undefeated and had not been scored on much this year. In the playoffs, they pretty well handled people. But here, Corvallis has handled them. All right, back to throw. Wilhelm, left-hander, looks. Going long, way downfield. It is just over the outstretched fingertips of Dave Bondo. Bondo just turned it on and was streaking downfield at about the 10-yard line. The pass just underthrown. And I'll tell you what, Wilhelm put that ball in the airways. That ball came down about the 10-yard line. He must have let it go from about the 40. Get that ball in the air 50 yards if it was an inch. Still double splits. Top and bottom of your screen and back to throw again. Wilhelm has time, rolls out, looking down near the sideline, incomplete. Into the hands of Todd Carden, but he couldn't hold on as Carden will go back, looks at the clock with 9 seconds remaining. Maybe time for 2 more plays. Unless it's a completed pass inbounds, and then that might be it. 3rd down and 10. Spartan fans, look at them. Are they excited? Wilhelm brings his ball club up. And goes back. Clock underway, down to 6 seconds. Looks, he is going to be hit. He throws, it is incomplete with 2 seconds on the clock. Intended again for Todd Carden. And there's the big tight end, Dan Williams, along with running back Lance Patton on the sideline for the Corvallis Spartans, just itching to get out on that field and start whooping it up. And that's got to be a lot of fans sitting down there. I'm going to guess that's Lake Ridge Pacer fans because they didn't look to be celebrating too much. 2 seconds left. Last play of the ball game. 4th down unless we have a defensive penalty. Wilhelm calls it, sends a man in motion. Long count now, back to throw the ball. This will be it. With a screen pass, incomplete. The ball game is over. And the Corvallis Spartans have won the championship of the state of Oregon in the Class AAA ranks again. The final score, Corvallis 24 and Lake Ridge 7. And the celebration will go. Now we've got John Lynn down on the
holiday gift.
What do you have to say?
Well, we're very pleased for our kids. They did an outstanding job. They've worked hard all year long, and I think they deserve to win a championship because of their attitude and their ability, and I'm very pleased for them.
You got to be thrilled earlier to see the 2 losses. What do you think turned it around for you after those 2 early losses?
I think the thing that turned it around is that our kids hung in there and came back and practiced well for the last 5 weeks of the regular season. And then once we got into playoffs, it just kind of snowballed for us.
Yeah, it's a great thrill for you. I'll let you go. Thanks.
Okay, thanks a lot, John. Thank you.
Pacers trying to get something going again, and the Spartan defense bent a little bit. They gave up some big plays, but they didn't give up the long drive, other than one long drive. Here was the halfback pass, and this is the interception. It's just floated up there just a little bit too long. And coming up with it will be Mike Henry. Henry steps in front of the intended receiver, gets a little return on it, as the pass was intended for Rick Savalainen. But Henry gets the interception and breaks yet another effort by the Pacers to get a drive going. First half stats, or rather highlights. Dimmick will roll to the left and looks, fires downfield, has a man, and that's the big tight end, and he goes a long way. I want to remind our cable stations and Blazer network stations, we will fill until 3:15 for you, all right? We'll give you the final score. All right, we'll do it. Lake Ridge loses to Corvallis in the championship game, 24-7. Let me remind our local pay TV viewers on Store Systems and North Willamette Telecom to be with us this coming Tuesday, December 13th, when the Blazers take on the Seattle Supersonics. Now for my partner, John Lynn, I'm Jerry Allen, bidding you good afternoon, and this has been a production of Blazer Broadcasting.